Okay, last one. I finally got everything done. Well, got everything done that could be done. Like I said, I never got to the apothecary, and I had a major accident with my champion, so I have to do some reworking and repainting on him. He actually got ran over by my neighbor as I was outside putting a spray coat on these guys. He fell off of the porch and bounced off into the entranceway to where I'm staying at, and one of my neighbors happened to be leaving right when he was going out and ran over him. So I will be putting him back together again, I think. There is some pretty good significant damage. I think I lost the base, so I have to come up with a new base. Anyways, here's what I used for this. When you see them, you'll see what I'm talking about. I added some dirt and mud to them to kind of make them fit in with the trenches, and I used the MIG mud system, which has the acrylic resin. This is kind of like the glue to hold it in, and then the 3 pigments that I use for it are here with dark mud, which is this one here, and then European dust and light dust. I also used some plaster of Paris and then some dirt from the backyard, just kind of added in there. Ratio wise, it's about 30% of the resin, 30% of the plaster of Paris, and then 10% of each of the pigments, and 10% on the dirt. So figure 2/3 of it is resin and plaster, and then evenly distributed out equal amounts of resin and plaster, and then equal amounts of the pigments and the dirt. So that's what I used, and the outcome is something like this. This is the flamer guy. Get him a little closer here. See if I can get him to focus in. There we go. And as you can see, I basically covered the entire. Sorry about that. I forgot to mention this one. I covered the entire figure with this product here, which is again the MIG pigments, and will it focus in for me or not? Come on. It's the Gulf War sand, which I had purchased separately. Come on, get it. There we go. And it's kind of like a nice tan color. What I did is, like I said, I used a thin wash, and what I did is I covered the entire model, including the weapon, and then along his legs. See if I can get one in here a little bit better. There we go. Along his legs, right here, from about here down to the bottom, I gave it to a real heavy wash, so it would look like dry mud. So there would be a transition of kind of like dirt along here, and then you would get to the dry mud where you've been walking in the mud, and then you would have kind of like a wet mud or a moist mud on his feet and lower part of his legs. And then once everything dried, and prior to applying the mud, I used some of these, which is the I got a pack of makeup appliers, and dipped that in and made it moist with everything was mixed with alcohol. The pigment was mixed with alcohol, the 90% type. And what I did is I took those makeup pliers and I dipped it in the alcohol, and then I wiped off. Come on, get in focus. I hate this camera. There we go. I wiped it down so that it would leave it kind of in the crevices and a little bit. Now this guy I pre-coated because I was going to be using alcohol. I didn't want it to rub the paint off. I pre-coated with a Tester's dull coat. I wasn't sure which one to go with when applying the pigments, so this one I went with a dull coat, and then the other two I used Tamiya, and I think it's a semi-gloss. I don't think it's a true gloss. It's a semi-gloss. I used that on them, and I'll give you an idea what they look like now. Here's the Sergeant. This is the Sergeant. I kind of took him, and he's been coated with a semi-gloss, and it did affect the way the pigment held onto the model. It was easier to clean up. The flat, I think it took it. The pigment would grind into the finish, so it was kind of harder to clean it off. But this one stayed where it wiped off really easy. So it wasn't hard to apply. When I was applying it, it stayed on there. So you can see I got some like I said, the mud effects, and then the dirt dirtied them up. I was just figuring that as long as these guys were in the trenches, they wouldn't have time to really clean up and stuff like that. And trench warfare to me has always been kind of visions of World War I with mud and whatnot in the trenches with them. That's the Sergeant, and this is the Veteran with the chainsword. I really like the pigments. I probably did a rookie mistake with my weathering and with my chipping, and probably went a little heavy-handed, but you know, I'll learn as we go, as I go along. The method I use for chipping I got from Girl Painting, and from another YouTuber, I can't remember, Cuttlefish I think it is. But basically I would take a piece of foam like this, and I would rip off the corner, and then I mixed a 50-50 mix of Beastal Brown and black, and then I dipped it in using the tweezers I held onto the foam. I dipped it in the paint, dabbed most of it off, I mean almost all of it off, on a piece of paper towel, and then dabbed the figure with that, and that caused some of the scratches and the chipped areas. And then what I went in is I went with a lighter blue, and I highlighted the sides and the bottom of the larger chip areas with just followed the contours with a really thin line, and then I painted chainmail in the blackened area, but left just a little sliver of black along the top, and it made it look like a real gave it a 3D look to it. So I was really pleased with the way that turned out. Now it changed it a little bit once I applied the pigments, but not too much. You can really kind of see the effects of it here on the yellow. It turned up really really well. But it looks like it's been worn and chipped, and so we'll and we're gonna go out of focus, and we're back in focus. So these are actually the only 3 that I ended up getting complete. Would have had the champion done if it hadn't been for that major accident, but he's being worked on now, and he's hopefully he'll be coming back strong and truer. So as a perspective of what I've accomplished, this is it's been pretty, for me personally, it's been pretty amazing, because I'm fairly new to the figure painting. I've only been painting for probably 2 months, maybe a little bit longer than that. This is probably about my this is about the 5th or 6th figures that I've painted. My goal was to get all 5 painted. Again, I didn't. True life comes in and wrecks all plans, all mighty plans of mice and men. But I did learn a lot, and I think that's the most important thing. Some of it was doing research on YouTube and finding the best way of doing it. Others was experimenting and figuring out how I wanted to do it. And what I did is I used a test figure who sacrificed himself for the Emperor, and basically tried out everything I was learning out on him. On this one, I wanted to see what I wanted to go for, whether I was going to use the Gulf War sand, or if I was going to use a light dust. So half of them is done in the dust, and that's how it came out there. And then the other half of them was done with the Gulf War sand, and you can see what I'm talking about as far as a heavier coat down here on the bottom. That's basically how I did it. Is I brought it up almost up to the knee, made it real heavy. I mean, I couldn't even see the armor underneath it, and then that's what I would apply the mud to, and then I would leave the mud. Bring the mud up about halfway of what I got colored there, so you'd have your transition from dusty, dirty to dried mud to damp mud. And yeah, so I'm really pleased on how these figures turned out. And it was, like I said, it was a learning curve with me. I never used the Vallejo stuff, so I'm really pleased with that. The blue set. I plan on picking up the red set. There's a flesh set, a black set, a white set. These I think these are well worth the investment. I've never done the chipping and the battle damage and used pigments. So all in all, I think pretty pleased with how these turned out. And I'll be doing more of them. So hopefully, like I said, I think they'll be doing a little bit better. We'll be doing a little bit better. A little closer look at them. So yeah, he's. This is probably my favorite posed for the figures I did. So, WarbossTae's, thank you. I don't think I would have even come close to accomplishing anything like this if it hadn't been for your challenge and the positive feedback I was getting from that. And I definitely will be doing more of this stuff. And I do have plans on for those that have subscribed to my channel. First off, I'd like to say thank you. That was something I didn't even think about, and now it's happened. I feel semi-obligated to continue on with the channel. One of the things I plan on doing is purchasing a a fairly decent camera and lighting out upset, so I can maybe do some tutorials or paint-alongs or whatever you want to call them. That way I don't have to hold it in front of you. And then again, I'll be as I get in a better financial situation, you know, get the computer and the software and decent editing. I've already have one segment in mind for the channel, and it's going to be called Sarge Says. I was a sergeant in the U.S. Cavalry. That's why I decided to paint these guys this way. It's kind of my tribute to the Cav guys. And what it'll be basically is it'll be kind of like kit reviews and quick tips and whatnot. And Sarge will say whether it's worth it, or Sarge will say it isn't worth it. So looking forward to putting something together like that. So those that are subscribed, check in every once in a while. I'll try to put out a video every couple of weeks. Right now it's about the only speed I can go up to, and hopefully we'll get it to doing once a week. And keep your eyes out for the segment called Sarge Says. So thanks everybody for commenting. All your positive comments have been really influential in helping me get through this. Mateo, unfortunately, the base didn't turn out as well as I had hoped, although it turned out well. But the pigments kind of washed out all the decaling, so just a little bit of the see if I can get in. Come on, give me a focus. Give me a focus there. Alright, maybe if I do this. Give me a focus. I'm gonna do, there we go. A little bit of the checker came through, and you're gonna pop back out of focus again, and you're gonna go back into focus, and you're gonna go back into, anyways, like I said, once I get a camera this will be a little bit better. But anyways, the rust pigments kind of overwhelmed the decals, and again, maybe with me being a noob at doing the pigments, it didn't. As a matter of fact, you can't even see the skull anymore. So I might be a little bit different, but it gave it a nice little rusty appearance. So like I said, keep your eyes out. This channel will keep going as far as as much as I can. And right now, the next one will probably be a biker, a Space Marine biker with the Emperor's Dragoons, and then the Devastator Squad. So again, thank you for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Like and comment on this if you appreciate all the comments so far. And WarbossTae's, thank you. I think your challenge thing is a really good idea. Kind of keeps the community together, and everybody kind of gets on the same page. And like I said, I got some new subscriptions that new people I'm following, and I actually picked up some. So good job. Your Night Lords are awesome. And I'll see you all in the next video. And till then, take care, and ciao.